Ray Kroc worked in the paper cup industry for 16 years, earning enough to provide a stable life for his wife, Ethel, and their daughter Marilyn, born in 1924. However, this job demanded most of his time, straining family relationships. Kroc was always passionate about learning from customers, thoroughly studying the food industry to determine what worked and what didn't. In 1939, he discovered the value of a new device, the multi-mixer, a 5-spindle milkshake machine. Recognizing its potential over traditional single-spindle machines, Kroc decided to leave the paper cup business and became the exclusive distributor of the multi-mixer. In its early years, the business was highly profitable, generating up to $25,000 per year by the late 1940s, a significant sum at the time. However, as suburbs expanded and traditional soda shops closed in the early 1950s, Kroc's sales began to decline sharply. Amidst these challenges, a small restaurant in San Bernardino, California, consistently ordered large quantities of multi-mixers. Curious about their business model, Kroc decided to visit California in 1954. This trip changed his life forever when he met brothers Dick and Mac McDonald, the pioneers of what would later become the McDonald's empire. In 1954, Ray Kroc traveled to California to investigate the small restaurant in San Bernardino that frequently ordered large quantities of his multi-mixers. Upon arrival, he met Richard and Maurice McDonald, Dick and Mac McDonald, who had developed a unique restaurant business model. Previously, in the late 1920s, the McDonald brothers had moved from New Hampshire to California with dreams of wealth. They worked in Hollywood film studios and later opened a movie theater in the early 1930s, but the venture was not as successful as they had hoped. Eventually, they realized that a small hot dog stand on the corner attracted more stable customers. Inspired by this, in 1937, they opened their own hot dog stand in another town. 3 years later, in 1940, the brothers relocated to San Bernardino and opened a larger drive-in restaurant called McDonald's. Their restaurant quickly gained popularity, drawing in many customers, especially drivers. With its car hop service, McDonald's became a favorite destination among locals. However, by the late 1940s, they noticed a major shift in customer behavior. After World War II, Americans embraced a modern lifestyle prioritizing convenience and speed. Customers no longer wanted to wait long for service but instead desired quicker meals. Recognizing this trend, the brothers decided to restructure their business model. They shut down their successful drive-in restaurant and focused on optimizing operations. They designed a kitchen assembly line similar to Henry Ford's production model, reducing their menu from 25 items to just 9 simple yet popular choices, such as hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, and milkshakes. Notably, they eliminated traditional car hop service and introduced a self-service model, significantly reducing customer wait times. Although initially met with skepticism, their innovation revolutionized the food industry. McDonald's not only transformed dining habits but also laid the foundation for the modern fast food industry. After refining their assembly line restaurant model, the McDonald brothers revolutionized the food industry. They reduced service times from 20 minutes to just 30 seconds by optimizing workflows and simplifying the menu to popular staples like hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, and milkshakes. Their success was swift. Revenue surged by 40% within 3 years, making McDonald's a model worth studying. In 1952, their small restaurant was featured on the cover of American Restaurant magazine, attracting attention from food industry entrepreneurs. People from across the U.S. traveled to San Bernardino to witness their operation firsthand. Among them was Ray Kroc, who had spent years in the multi-mixer business and was always seeking bigger opportunities. Kroc immediately recognized McDonald's potential. He saw that this restaurant was unlike traditional drive-ins, which primarily catered to teenagers. Instead, McDonald's attracted young families, a lucrative customer base. He envisioned scaling this model nationwide. When Kroc proposed expanding McDonald's, the brothers showed little enthusiasm for large-scale growth. However, they did not oppose Kroc's plans. Seizing the opportunity, Kroc signed an agreement granting him the right to expand the chain through franchising. However, upon returning to Chicago to open his first restaurant, Kroc encountered a major obstacle. The McDonald brothers had already sold franchise rights for Illinois to another company. To move forward, Kroc had to pay $25,000 to reclaim these rights, a significant sum for him at the time. This was just the beginning of ongoing conflicts between Kroc and the McDonald brothers. Despite these challenges, he remained steadfast in his ambition, eventually turning McDonald's into a global fast food empire. After signing the franchise agreement with Dick and Mac McDonald, Ray Kroc set out to expand the chain. However, tensions between him and the brothers quickly emerged. From the outset, Kroc struggled upon discovering that McDonald's franchise rights in Illinois had already been sold. To proceed, he had to pay $25,000 to buy them back, despite being deeply in debt. Determined to grow McDonald's through franchising nationwide, Kroc faced resistance from the McDonald brothers, who were content running their San Bernardino restaurant and hesitant about rapid expansion. Meanwhile, Kroc aimed to build a uniform restaurant system with strict standards for menu, preparation, and service quality, leading to control disputes. One of their biggest disagreements was over ingredients and operations. Kroc wanted to cut costs by sourcing his own ingredients, but the McDonald brothers refused, believing changes could compromise taste and quality. Nevertheless, Kroc pressed forward, seeking investors and partners. He emphasized brand consistency, ensuring all McDonald's locations provided the same customer experience. Under his leadership, McDonald's evolved from a small family restaurant into a well-structured fast food chain. Eventually, in 1961, Kroc decided to buy out the McDonald brothers entirely for $2.7 million. However, the deal excluded the original San Bernardino restaurant, intensifying tensions between them. Once the acquisition was complete, Kroc continued expanding McDonald's into a global empire, while the McDonald brothers faded from the spotlight. In the years following World War II, America entered a period of rapid growth driven by innovation and modernization. People sought greater convenience in all aspects of life, from transportation to dining. Recognizing this trend, Dick and Mac McDonald revamped their restaurant model to serve customers faster and more efficiently. Instead of maintaining traditional drive-in service with car hops, they eliminated waitstaff and reduced their menu from 25 items to just 9 of the most popular choices, including hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, milkshakes, and beverages. This streamlined approach drastically cut preparation and service time to just 30 seconds, a groundbreaking advancement in the food industry. Alongside menu simplification, the McDonald brothers redesigned their kitchen as an assembly line, inspired by Henry Ford's production system. Every process, from grilling patties and frying potatoes to dispensing condiments, was optimized for speed and consistency. They also invested in advanced equipment like larger grills and automated sauce dispensers to ensure uniform quality in every burger. Despite initial skepticism, the new model quickly became a massive success. Within 3 years, their restaurant's revenue grew by 40%, turning McDonald's into an industry sensation. In 1952, their business model was featured in American Restaurant magazine, attracting widespread attention from entrepreneurs and the media. The McDonald brothers' approach sparked a revolution in the restaurant industry, laying the groundwork for the modern fast food concept. Their innovations not only reshaped American dining habits but also ushered in a new era in food service business. The McDonald brothers' restaurant model quickly attracted attention from many in the food industry. People from all over the United States came to witness firsthand the efficient system and impressive service speed of McDonald's. Among those interested was Ray Kroc, a 52-year-old entrepreneur with years of experience in the kitchen equipment business. Ray Kroc immediately recognized the enormous potential of this model. Unlike typical drive-in restaurants catering to teenagers, McDonald's drew a large number of young families, a highly promising customer segment. Observing the steady stream of customers lining up for food, Kroc realized that this was the future of the restaurant industry. He saw that if this model could be replicated across the country, the profits would be immense, especially if every store used his multi-mixer milkshake machine. However, when Kroc proposed expanding the restaurant chain, the McDonald brothers showed little interest. They were content with what they had achieved and had no plans to grow further. When Kroc asked if they could find someone else to take on the expansion, they responded that they didn't know anyone who could do it. Without hesitation, Kroc offered to take on the task himself. The McDonald brothers agreed and signed a contract granting Kroc the exclusive rights to expand the McDonald's system. What seemed like a smooth beginning quickly turned into Kroc's first major challenge. Upon returning to Chicago to open his first McDonald's restaurant, he discovered that the McDonald Brothers had already licensed business rights in the area to another company. To proceed with his plans, Kroc was forced to pay $25,000 to buy out the contract, despite being deep in debt after investing in the restaurant's construction. This was just the beginning of the conflicts between Ray Kroc and the McDonald Brothers. However, with his strategic vision and persistence, Kroc would soon elevate McDonald's to an entirely new level. After overcoming the first hurdle and opening his own McDonald's restaurant, Ray Kroc set out to expand the brand nationwide. He adopted the McDonald Brothers' highly efficient business model while seeking franchise partners to open more locations. However, the process was far from smooth, as tensions between Kroc and the McDonald Brothers gradually surfaced. Kroc envisioned McDonald's as a national brand with hundreds, even thousands, of locations. He believed that achieving this required strict control over food quality, service methods, and the operational procedures of each franchise. However, Dick and Mac McDonald did not share the same vision. They were satisfied with the success of their original store in San Bernardino and had no desire for further expansion. To them, McDonald's was merely a family business, not a global empire. This fundamental difference in business philosophy often left Kroc frustrated. He wanted to update the logo, refine recipes, and develop the brand into a more professional operation, but he constantly faced resistance from the brothers. One particular point of contention was Kroc's proposal to use powdered milkshakes instead of fresh milk to cut costs and optimize the supply chain. Dick and Mac McDonald firmly rejected the idea, believing it would compromise product quality. As disagreements escalated, Kroc gradually realized that if he wanted full control over McDonald's, he would have to find a way to buy out the brand entirely from the McDonald Brothers. This set the stage for one of the most significant acquisitions in the history of the food industry, one that would forever change the fate of McDonald's and Ray Kroc himself.